Yeah. I know this is what everyone is waiting for. I know we got Domo here, the president of the Darvin Ham Hate Association. So, breaking news: the Los Angeles Lakers have dismissed Coach Darvin Ham. In 2 seasons, he was 1974 with a Western Conference Finals berth, 2 play-in victories, and an in-season title. But the Lakers lost to the Nuggets in 5 games in the opening round. Domo, I know you've been praying for days like this.
Pull the tweet back up. Pull the tweet back up.
You want to tweet again? Okay.
Oh no. Pull the tweet up. Just do me a favor. Pull the tweet up.
There we go.
All right. Hold on. Hit refresh for me. Just refresh her. Just refresh.
Oh no, I refreshed my Twitter. Oh,
yeah, scroll down. Just scroll down. Ah, damn! I thought I'd be faster.
You thought you had merged. There you are.
There it is. Yes.
We have caught and compromised to a permanent end Osama bin Laden.
That is how I feel, baby. We got him. We fucking got him. Finally. After so long, my prayers have been answered. Before we even get to that portion of that time in the offseason. Oh, Lord, I can't even breathe. All right, listen, the Lakers don't got to do shit different. Bring everybody back. Run it back, the same goddamn core. Run it back. Just get anyone else to coach. Thank the heavens they listened. It took shareholders threatening to sit, threatening to pull money. It took fans. It took me threatening to blow up the crypto 1 million times. It probably was that rock I threw at that nigga car. I think they finally realized, hey, these niggas is not playing. I think we really need to let them go. They see me packing D-Lo shit. They knew it. Hey, it is serious. It is time for change. Thank you. Oh, this feels so good.
Who do you want? Let's get
nigga. Anyone? You can coach. You can coach, Mars. I want you coaching. You can coach. I can coach. Hey, this nigga can coach. Sorry, anybody can coach. Anybody. It don't matter who. I don't care what nobody say. That was hands down the worst coach in the NBA. The worst. No one worse than him. He was the bottom of the fucking barrel, and that goes to show you how far talent can get you in this league. Because he was the bottom of the barrel, made the Western Conference Finals last year. That is crazy. That nigga's awful. That nigga does shit that middle school coaches don't even do. That's wild. He's a bum. I've seen better coaches on 2K with no face scans. This nigga's trash. I've always wanted to pluck that lump. And now when I do it, I won't feel bad.
It's unfortunate, man. Darvin Ham, very successful tenure, conference finals, in-season tournament title, undefeated in playing games. I feel like Darvin Ham. I mean, obviously, Domo had his opinions, man, but relatively successful. Now he's gone. I don't know what the Lakers gonna do to replace him. But now you don't have a scapegoat. If the Lakers still stink next season, and they get a good coach, we gonna blame the next good coach, or what are we doing?
Well, one, I've never been one to blame coaches, but I've always scapegoated niggas on the Lakers. No, before Darvin Ham. First of all, Mars, you didn't know me.
Oh, before Darvin Ham, okay.
Darvin Ham, you didn't know. Okay. I'm not one as a Laker fan. I'm not one to blame our coach. That is what I mean in terms of Laker fan.
Okay.
In terms of for the Lakers' problems, I've never been one to sit there. Oh no, it's our coach. That's why we stink. I didn't blame Frank Vogel. I was at anybody that needs to go do the research. Go look at Let's Keep It a Buck around that time. I was adamant on the Lakers keeping Frank Vogel. I want him to keep him. I said, there's no reason to lose him. Just give him the team that he needs. It makes no sense to have a defensive coach and don't go get defensive players. That's stupid. But, yeah, it does not matter who we get. Nigga said JJ Redick. I wasn't mad at that. Nigga said Ty Lue. I am mad at that. I don't want no small ball coaches. So that's, I will say, if there is a preference, I would prefer someone who is shying away from small ball, because AD at the 5 is killing me. I can't stomach it. It is just, I seen us win a championship with that nigga being a 4. I feel like our best times are him at the 4. That nigga's best days was at the 4. Probably should put that nigga at the 4. That's all I gotta say about that one. Get anybody to coach though. I've seen so many different names about potential coaches. I think there's a percentage niggas got Bron being the coach next year. Anybody is a better coach than Darvin Ham, and we will see. Y'all will find out once magically a lot of those issues that we had last year are not issues anymore. Now there will be new issues. I can't tell you what the new issues will be. There will be new issues. I know it's not all peaches and rainbows. There will be new issues, but I don't know what those issues are, so I can't speak on that. I do know one thing I don't have to worry about is my team constantly being ass in third quarters versus the Nuggets. I do not have to worry about Austin Reeves or any other under 6'5" guard guarding MPJ ever again. I'm pretty sure I don't have to worry about that anymore. So yeah, Nuggets, we'll see you next year, buddy. Can't wait.
Would you take Jim Boylan?
I will take anybody instead of Darvin Ham. Yes, yes, anybody. That nigga was awful.
I know. There's some Bulls fans in the chat who have heard Jim Boylan and got flashbacks. But
what do they know about anything good?
They know a bad coach when they see one. And also, before we bring people up, thoughts on Kendrick's new song, Domo?
It was cool. I like some of those things that he said. I'm not gonna lie, that nigga Drake need to look at his circle. You got niggas out here ready for your downfall in your circle. The nigga said, nigga right next to you. Is it 40? Is 40 a snake? Oh my God, Drake. You gotta look out for you gotta cut that grass, gang. A lot of snakes in there. It's crazy.
And before, once again, would you take Steven Silas?
Come on, man. I'm not that delusional. Come on.
Okay. Alan, Dubbo, congratulations, Domo. And why is Rosa Parks overrated? I think
my God.
We got bigger fish to fry, man. We're not talking about Rosa Parks.
Finally, Domo.
Yeah. What about that? What about Mitchell? What about Mitchell shutting out Embiid?
We are not talking about the Knicks today. I don't know what to tell you. We are not talking about the Knicks today.
I didn't know he was here. I just had to call him out on it, but I'm here for something else. You know me. It ain't just about
Wait, why are we not talking about the Knicks?
Because nobody likes that we won.
We Darvin Ham podcast.
We talking about Darvin scam for 2 hours?
Yeah. They don't want, because remember, most of the people here got the 76s and 7s, so it's all right. Let's talk about him. Everyone for you. We're here to support you, Domo.
For one reason and one reason only. Darvin Ham. That's why they
pushing back on even Kelly Oubre giving as much effort as he did. I didn't think he was that great in the series.
There it is.
Unless you're talking about the Lakers signing Kelly Oubre, we're not talking about anything.
Which I would not mind. Which I would not mind at all.
But I'm asking you guys, what coach do you guys think the Lakers should get? What coach do you guys think the Lakers should get?
Did you see the list Cobbs put out that they're looking for?
No,
I did see that list.
Mike Budenholzer, Kenny Atkinson, JJ Redick.
I don't think I'll have to Griffin.
He
just got Griffin. Griffin just got released by the Bucks.
I'm good. I'm good on him. I'm good
on him. Real quick. Tyler T said that I'm on my porch. It's a balcony, bro. I got money. You know what I'm saying? It's a balcony.
You got money.
Shit.
It's a balcony. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So good shit.
I'm pushing for the JJ Redick hire. I just think
Vogel is going to get fired soon, so.
JJ Redick gets hired.
They're not gonna bring back Frank Vogel. I'm just here for the content on the
Domo.
I want JJ Redick to be coach.
Who?
The former coach from the Bucks, Mr. Griffin. What do you think?
That's crazy.
Listen.
That's not even
as a nigga that just got rid of a coach that I've been screaming red flags. There is a red flag to be known by a nigga whose assistant coach quit on him in the preseason. I don't know. Maybe y'all can trust that bullshit. I'm not gonna trust that bullshit.
So
I think Terry Scott had to see something. Terry Scott had to see.
A coach. That's a coach you don't agree besides out of the side of him.
Oh no. Correction. I mean actual coaches. I don't think that nigga's actual coach. That nigga's a trainer. There's no way. Do you know what Terry Scott's had to hear or see that nigga do / say to be like, you know what?
Camp, bro.
Nah, this nigga done do a Brook Lopez at point guard. I don't want this job.
This
I'm
nigga's
good.
weird. Yeah.
It's the Lakers, though. You know the Lakers. They're about to get Steve Nash. Like the Lakers have a way of making the worst. They have a way of making the worst decision.
I'm not gonna lie.
Don't put that in there.
Don't put that bad juju on me, but Ricky Bobby. Please don't. Let's not do that.
He called you Ricky Bobby.
I'm not mad at Kenny Atkinson, to be honest with you.
They'll get Dwight Howard as an assistant and Steve Nash as a head coach. Watch it.
Niggas gonna hate who I want.
I was gonna say they was gonna get the coach that we just fired off my team. I thought they was gonna get Jack Vaughn. I thought they was
bro, who are these names you got to throw?
Why are we just getting all these fired ass coaches? Yeah, damn.
JJ Redick is the answer.
I'm about to say, unironically, that is the coach I want. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Exactly.
That's who I want. I literally want. I want JJ Redick, and I'm gonna be real. I want this nigga LeBron to retire. That is the two things. I want JJ Redick as my coach, and I need LeBron gone.
I mean, JJ Redick as the coach helps because it saves the travel time to do the podcast. So.
Exactly. Pods after every single game. Every single
them podcasts on the assist losing streaks. Oh my god, man.
LeBron.
When they get cooked by the Nuggets in the playoffs again, we get the pods. Like, I'm here for that. Like, I don't care about the X's and O's on the court.
You can get Draymond Green on the team too. Get Draymond
I can't wait. I can't wait for that pod episode where he talks about why he was able to outcoach Mike Malone and how easy it was the entire time. I can't wait for it. I can't wait for it.
I can't wait for the pod episode where LeBron says again, "Hey man, I just changed our defensive matchups. I mean, coach wanted us to do this, but I just changed it." And JJ Redick just sitting there like, I got no grace. That's why I can't wait.
Mars, what about Johnny Bryant?
If it's not JJ Redick,
Low key, bring me Mike D'Antoni. I'm not mad at that.
Okay, you guys are giving JJ Redick is the only answer.
But what makes him just because of the podcast? Like, what does he really bring to the team?
Yes,
just because of the podcast.
Yes.
It seems like he's been watching. He's been watching them a lot. So
I just want a coach that's very high on analytics. That's my thing. I want a very analytical coach. That is
JJ Redick hates the dunk sport, so he gonna run AD at the 5.
Daryl Morey, come on down, man.
Like, I can guarantee you, he's gonna run AD at the 5.
Regardless of who they run, though, it's a good time. You know, I can go back to supporting the Lakers again, and you know, the NBA's Netanyahu got fired. Like, about time for the real one. Just saying. Anyway,
we still hoping. But yeah, AD is gonna play the 5 if JJ.
He will be. Yeah.
Just so you know, Noma. So just
probably.
I'm not sure why y'all would go from a rookie head coach to another rookie head coach. You know what I'm saying?
That's what that would be crazy.
The rookie head coach thing isn't the problem.
Because what coaches with experience do you think are good?
Mike D'Antoni.
We gotta start getting
Dezo. We're asking Dezo. What coaches with experience do you think are good?
I would say every coach that's in the playoffs right now is good.
No, that's available for hire.
That's available for hire.
Yeah, we don't like. Oh yeah, just take Tibbs from the Knicks. Like that's available.
Hey, Tibbs might get fired. Who knows?
An unemployed coach with NBA experience. Who do you think?
I just said Bryant.
Wes Unseld Jr.
To be honest with you,
y'all niggas are trolling. That's crazy.
To be honest with you,
he said that with a straight face. No, that's crazy.
I mean, I'm not really in the coaching carousel like that. I mean, Mark Jackson maybe.
Mark Jackson.
If Jeff Van Gundy want to give it another try, you know what I'm saying?
Jeff Van Gundy.
If Mike Breen wants to get off the commentator box and hop into a coaching stable,
if we hire Mike Breen as my coach, I'm not coming back to this sport. Like,
I'm here for Mike Breen. I'm here for Mike Breen as a coach.
You know, hey, every time LeBron shoots the shot, bang.
I'm here for Mike Breen as a coach.
He's just hearing that shit in practice though. Like,
how do we feel about Mike Breen?
Mike, Coach Buds.
Coach Bud, how we feel about Coach Bud, man?
He might run AD at the 4.
Yeah,
he might.
I actually wouldn't be mad at Bud.
Neither would I. I think Bud's a good coach. I think
it would be less. I think he would still run AD at the 5, just not as much as Darvin did. It would just be
regular season would be better. I'll say that. Like, he's a good regular season coach. So.
I ain't gonna hold you. Wouldn't mind bringing somebody said Rondo. I don't want Rondo. I don't want Rondo as a head coach. I want Rondo I would want us to. I want the headline to come out that we also fired DeMarre Carroll, and then I want Rondo to take his spot. I want Rondo as an assistant. I don't want Rondo as a head coach.
Rondo
needs to be the coach.
Rondo would be a good coach.
Rondo needs to be the coach like Phil Hardy, Phil Handy, whatever that nigga's name is. That needs to be the guy that's like, all right, that's the buffer between the coach's room and the players. He needs to be the player coach. I don't think the head coach should be the player coach. And that's the problem with the Lakers. Our head coach is the fucking player coach.
Okay.
And half the players hated him. So that's
Reggie Reg with a super chat. He said LeBron has had 9 coaches in 21 seasons, which equals a new coach every 2.3 seasons, which is egregious work. Bronsexuals ignore who the problem is.
I ain't gonna lie, you bald-headed bandit fucking cock lovers, y'all just find new statistics to put down LeBron James. I've never known niggas to count coaches. That's crazy. I didn't know we was doing that. But there's always a new level of dick suckery to go on when we're trying to criticize LeBron.
Who is LeBron's coach? So he started off with Steven Silas, dad. Then he got Mike Brown, I think. Then he got Mike Brown, right? Then he went to Miami with Spo. That's 3. David Blatt in Cleveland. Then Ty Lue. Then Luke Walton, Lakers. Then Frank Vogel,
Darvin Ham.
And then Darvin Ham.
Is that 9?
I think so.
Or we forget
that does not feel like 9. I don't know if niggas can do math.
Okay. Paul Silas, Mike Brown, Eric Spoelstra, David Blatt, Ty Lue, Luke Walton, Frank Vogel, Darvin Ham. We must be forgetting someone.
That's 8.
Someone in the chat will be like, he had this interim coach for 10 games. There's probably someone we're forgetting. There's probably someone with
10 games.
Walt was on his way out. I know Walt was. Come on, we know the context. Luke Walton was an ass coach on his way out anyway. We know that. The only ones where I will give some pushback in terms of LeBron's trying to be a GM, I guess with David Blatt, because David Blatt got them to the finals, and then the nigga lost his job. I don't know why that even happened. That was kind of crazy. I mean, you got to the finals with the nigga, and Kyrie goes down, and we all know if Kyrie's there, it was understanding like that's a better series. I'm not going to just say you hand down win. But it's definitely you have a shot at winning a championship with him as a coach. So I don't understand the David Blatt one. Other than that, Walton was ass. Ham was ass. Frank Vogel. I like Frank Vogel. I don't know. I'm not gonna say LeBron was it. If it was LeBron, that's crazy. I fuck with Frank Vogel. Paul Silas is ass. Hence why his son, Steven Silas, is ass. I know both of them was ass because Paul Silas was the coach for the fucking Bobcats. You know his assistant was? His son, Steven, who was ass. So I'm not mad at niggas for getting ass niggas fired. That's crazy. That's a crazy
thing. Someone said the 9th was Brendan Malone in 2005. That's Michael Malone's dad. Michael Malone's dad. He coached for 18 games. I knew it was going to be an interim. I knew it.
And that's what I'm gonna be an interim. Niggas always get nasty, bro.
I knew it was gonna be an interim.
Nah, the fact is that everyone remembers that type of stats. Imagine if you actually paid attention to the game and remembered the game. You probably would be a lot more in tune than
I knew it was gonna be an interim.
What does that have to do with his game and his success? So what?
Yeah, that's crazy. That is absolutely remembering a 17 or 18 game coaching Cleveland is crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
I don't even think he remembered that. I think he had to pull that up. Like he had to see.
Niggas don't even do proper math. Motherfuckers will sit there and say, motherfuckers will sit there and say, "Hey man, he had so many coaches that equates to fucking a coach every 2 seasons." You know, goddamn well that's not right. Mike Brown was there for an extended period of time. That nigga Spoelstra never left him in 4 years. And I mean, yeah,
he tried to get him out
after that. I mean, David Blatt didn't last over a season.
But if I say MJ had 4 coaches in 13 years in Chicago, I'm the bad guy. But I guess. But it is what it is.
This is why we done with the 90s. Because I bet it was an old ass nigga that did some shit like that. That came up to that conclusion. You know, he had 9 coaches if you include the interim coach in 05. Had to be an old nigga, old hating ass nigga.
Including an 18-game stretch of coaching as an interim.
In Cleveland, like not even recent. In Cleveland, that's crazy.
You got it, man.
Why would anyone even remember that? That's absolutely crazy.
He didn't remember. He saw Darvin Ham got fired and looked up LeBron's history of coaches.
Yep.
That's what he did to push an agenda. That's what he did.
Imagine trying to push an agenda after Darvin Ham, of all people, gets fired.
Darvin Ham got fired, and the first thing he did when he saw that tweet, let's look at LeBron's coaches throughout his career. First thing he did. You know what? Like, come on, man. Like,
who was that Eric Spoelstra's assistants? I want to see many of those. Yeah, I want to see. I would just think someone.
Who would know that?
I just want to say, yeah, somebody. Does he?
Miami Heat fans would know.
Yeah, that's what I know.
Like, I know Thiago Splitter on the Houston bench.
Has none of Eric Spoelstra's assistants gotten an NBA and head coaching job yet?
I'm not sure.
Miami Heat assistant coaches 2024. Okay, let's see.
I think I brought up Johnny Bryan if we're talking about new guys. I think with him being the assistant coach for the Knicks and how he brought that team.
Chris Quinn, Malik Allen, Caron Butler. Player development coaches are Eric Glass and Octavio Della Grana. They have Wayne Ellington as a player development coach.
And he was on my roster like 2 years ago, dude. Oh my goodness.
So
they have some good shooters on that.
I'm just surprised none of his assistant coaches get more kind of love to being potential coaches just because of the Miami system.
Yeah, but they shoot 40% for three.
What you call it? Now I was about to say his name, but the top 3 candidates have emerged as early options per Shams just now, and it is Mike Budenholzer, Kenny Atkinson, and JJ Redick.
Kenny Atkinson.
I think all three.
I think Bud's the best. I think Bud's the safest bet.
Bud is the safest bet in terms of a good coach, obviously.
Plus,
But
also,
the Lakers are in the market to do the safest thing.
The JJ Redick.
Bud is better than Kenny Atkinson, and we don't know what JJ Redick is.
Yeah, you don't know
exactly. Exactly.
Like if I'm JJ though,
Kenny Atkinson shouldn't be hired in my opinion.
If
I want to go safe, you take Buds. If you want to go risky, JJ.
Go JJ. Honestly, what you really should do is fire DeMar Carroll. Hire both them niggas. Mike Budenholzer as the head coach. JJ as the head assistant coach. Come on, man. Do both. Why not?
And have him learn.
Hey, can I ask a question?
If I'm JJ though, like I have one successful podcast on his own. Then he has one with LeBron. He's one of the most prominent basketball sports media figures. Everything he says gets put out there viral, whatever. Do I need that?
Why not both? Why not both?
Some people just like it's the adrenaline of competition. Like,
maybe he really wants.
Some people just need to be in the environment of competing.
I hear that.
Someone in the chat said JJ is an assistant. Yes, do the same thing Jason Kidd did in 2020. Jason Kidd was the assistant coach next to Frank Vogel, and everyone just knew, that nigga he's there because as soon as Frank Vogel gets scapegoated, they're giving the job to fucking Jason Kidd. Do the exact same thing.
Hey, can I ask a question? Earlier jobs that he did, boy.
You can ask a question.
Okay. First off, I'm total casual, so I watch the games here now, mostly at work because our boss in the lobby we work, we have satellite now, so we got all the games. So every now and then I'm working and I get to watch the games. But I just wanted to know, would D'Antoni be a good coach? I think he's assistant coach for Brooklyn right now. Would he be a good fit for Lakers? Or
get him out.
D'Antoni's a good fit anyway, man. D'Antoni's a good fit. He's a great coach. Yes, D'Antoni is a great
needed
coach.
Elsewhere though.
I think D'Antoni should be in the league. Whether that's he's not. I don't think he's an assistant in Brooklyn anymore. He was a couple years.
Yeah, he was, but he needs to come back.
D'Antoni, in my opinion, should be in the league, whether that's as an assistant or as a head coach.
Now,
or as an advisor.
Something. I would love to have him in Houston as the assistant to Ime. Love to have him. But for the Lakers, with their roster construct, it depends what. I think the Lakers shouldn't hire their coach until they fill out their roster in free agency, in my opinion.
But don't think the coach should have a say in that?
I might say, you don't think that it would be better to have the coach on before you start filling out the team so they can tell you like the type of players they want?
But I think because LeBron's a free agent, LeBron being there or not being there, I think is a big decision between what coach you get.
That's true.
You don't go and get Bud if LeBron is leaving.
JJ only goes there if LeBron's there too.
I think you have to know who's going to be like the main guy. Is LeBron going to be there or not before you go out and get a coach? I don't think you hire Mike Budenholzer and then he loses LeBron and then you have Mike Budenholzer coaching the Lakers.
Well, you think they get
but if you wait, someone else will get in. Like,
wait, you think they get like JJ or someone else instead if Brown leaves? I
don't know. I don't know what ideology is. I just think you can't make the decision until you know if you have LeBron next season.
I think you find out. I'm about to say, don't we find out if players are taking a player option or keeping it, if they're accepting or declining their player option like before the draft?
I think he's going to decline his player option and watch new contract.
I don't know. Before the draft, like the draft is June 24th. Free agency is like a week later. So even if he declines his player option, he can still re-sign with the Lakers because they can still offer him the most money. So even if he declines, just wants a long term. I think you have to know, you have to know if you have LeBron and AD next season. Because if you only have AD, I think that changes.
I feel like that's what we disagree. I think you do that. Regardless, I think you sign him because you have AD. I think if AD is adamant on not playing without LeBron, then I feel you. But if AD is still willing to be there without LeBron, then I don't care what. You still get Budenholzer because you still have AD. As long as you have AD to be the best player on the team, I think it's still worth having Budenholzer there. Yeah. Now, I do agree. I don't know if JJ Redick wants the job if LeBron's not there. So that might be the thing.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, I don't think you get JJ if Braun isn't there. So I was like,
that nigga might just go to Charlotte.
I was like, it would make sense you get Mike.
That's what I'm saying. We might just go to Charlotte.
He interviewed for Toronto last year, did he not?
Yeah, he did.
They talked about it. Hold on, they talked about it. I don't know if they actually did. They talked about it. They talked about he wanted them to, but I don't know if he actually.
I think no, he did interview. Pretty sure he did.
Did he interview?
Yeah.
I think so. Like, I don't think he's there. Like, I'll only coach LeBron. I think.
No, I know. I'm saying for like Lakers decision. I'm like, well, like what they've been doing recently. So like, why would you try to go and? I don't know. To me, it just seemed like it.
Yeah, recently all we've been doing is being a good coach. What if that's him? Come on, man.
Is LeBron actually hard to coach, or is that just the narrative? Because I hear that a lot, like that he's always getting rid of people. Is that like legitimate?
I think any all-time great player is hard to coach.
Okay.
Yep, I agree with that.
I think coaching in general isn't easy. Yeah. I think we'd be lying if we said what players are easy and hard to coach. I think we'd be lying. Like, I think you can have a feeling it's probably hard to coach Draymond Green, but it's probably hard to just like in terms of the personality. But anytime you got a really smart basketball player, that can probably make it easier for you to coach. But then you got on the other side, I know coaches butted heads with Rondo because he was so smart that there's maybe disagreements. So like, I can't say who's easy and hard to coach, but I know I'd rather have LeBron on my roster than not.
See, with LeBron, I think I heard David Blatt before. With LeBron, coaching LeBron, basketball player, I think coaches love. Like I said, intelligent basketball. I think they have decently good reports. Love that. It's all the outside noise that comes with having LeBron James on the team. The overanalyzation from the media, so many people interjecting their comments. I think that's what makes it difficult coaching LeBron, not LeBron James, a basketball player.
I was so close in believing you, Jalen. I was so close because I don't think you believe that, but it's all right.
I think it's 100% the
fact. I don't think you believe that. It's not that. It's not just that. It's just if you really think about it, your job is to follow the game plan of the coach. What coach really is going to be likely to say, "Hey, I'm going to listen to my players." A lot of people look at that as confrontational. So, for example, like when you brought up Draymond Green, Mars, Draymond Green may be an animal on the TV screen, but when they bring him into the locker room, he's probably Kerr's best friend. So, again, it's not just about that. It's how well your system is and if you can take criticism. So, for me, I agree with Domo and what you guys were saying about how hard it is with talent. Whether you're smart or not, if a player is coming up challenging you, whether you may be, hey, this is a good thing, you don't always see it that way. So, with LeBron, because he's such a high IQ, I think that people are more challenging of him, like, okay, let me test your IQ, and they run into more problems as opposed to actually listening to him because it's the changing of the guard. Remember, not many coaches listen to their players. Like, we're just hearing about this now.
I think it's more temperament than IQ really. Because, like, Draymond I think he has anger issues. So,
here's another example. Look at Dennis Rodman. Everyone said Dennis Rodman. You remember how wild and crazy he was. But when practice started, everybody on the team was like, yo, is he in? Because we're going to run off of how Dennis Rodman is. And he would be setting the tone, running fast, lapping people, doing everything. And they had to keep up. And they were the ones telling him, yo, keep it down. They can control him in the locker room. But when he's out in the game, he's a different person. So who's the good coaching? Is it the team or is it Phil Jackson? That's what I'm trying to say. You guys say guys with these bad personalities. I've just shown you Dennis Rodman, who had one of the craziest personalities, how controlled he was in practices and in the games.
Well, Popovich couldn't handle Dennis Rodman. So like it depends on like.
Well, what about Tim Duncan? And
yeah,
David
that's what I'm saying. It
Robinson?
depends. Like some coach, every coach is different. Some people handle more outgoing, extravagant personalities, and some people are more. They deal better with mellow, not Carmelo, like mellow, like chilled out, laid back personalities. Like everyone's different. Coaches, some coaches are more personable. Some coaches are more X's and O's. Some like there's a bunch of different things. Like, every coach is different. I think in professional environments, the hardest thing for a coach is managing egos and personalities. I think once you get to like the top levels, tactically, most coaches know what they're doing. Because some coaches are better than others, but most coaches know what they're doing from a tactical X's and O standpoint.
I know
the personality, understanding personalities and meshing and egos and all of those things. I think that's where some coaches struggle, and I think that's what makes it difficult. And superstars typically are the hardest people to deal with because you know that you're gonna have to play them, but how much rope and leeway do you give them without fully relinquishing the reins of it? I'm the one coaching the team. How much can you let LeBron do and decide or have a say in without LeBron being the coach of the team? I think that's where the struggle, I guess, would be for a coach. But
I think too, because I know you brought like how Pop couldn't really control like Dennis, but I thought one of the ones that shocked me was he managed to get like Boris Diaw to buy in to like him playing, and Boris didn't really want to try for shit like in the league. He was cool with being who he was, but by the time they came to the 2014 finals, like he was a really like good piece in helping, keep LeBron contained and all that kind of stuff and winning the championship. So I don't know how he managed to do that and get Boris to buy into whatever it was, but like it definitely does depend on who you like as a coach, and even then that's how you get people to play with you and do well in that system and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, to add what you guys said, I just think every player requires a different kind of coaching strategy, right? Not every player responds the same to being yelled at. Some players you have to kind of sit down and talk to privately. Some people are okay calling out the team, whatever the case is. I do think it's different. And two, I think there's just some coaches that players are going to kind of just respect more. I think a guy who's been in the league, let's say 10 plus years, let's say like a Chris Paul type of guy. Let's say if it was a little better now, LeBron James players, that caliber, all NBA caliber players, they're going to respect guys like Spoelstra, Pop more because of what they've done and what they've seen. But I think some of these coaches who haven't done as much, they might look at them a little sideways in some play calling or stuff. So I think it's up to the coach to kind of make them believe that they can be the coach and take them over the top. Because very few coaches have that aura. Even in NBA history over the past, let's say 40 years, Phil Jackson, Pat Riley, Pop, Spoelstra.
I don't think Phil was a good coach, but okay.
I'm just saying, there's very few coaches that have the aura to kind of command the respect of everyone. So just cuts. Like even Steve Kerr, I don't think Steve Kerr commands the respect of a lot of guys in the league to that level. Even though he has a championship, I think a lot of them believe, hey, you did it with Steph, you did it with Durant type of deal.
I'm starting to think he got to go now.
See, that's the thing, Steve Kerr.
Would you take Steve Kerr, Doma?
I told you I don't want small ball coaches. That nigga hates centers.
I'm starting to think he gotta go now too, bro. Like,
I was the first nigga that wasn't a Warrior fan. I was the first nigga this summer that wasn't a Warrior fan telling y'all, hey, this nigga sucks. This nigga might suck.
Nah, bro. I saw him like past couple of years, even during this summer circuit last year with them. I was like, what is he doing putting Paolo at the five? He put Paolo, bro. Putting Paolo at the. I'm like, bro, no.
I'm the biggest fan of Steve Kerr here, and I don't want him on the Lakers. Like, come on, that's crazy.
I think he's just
the Warriors just extended him, no?
He's a great.
He tied down. He gonna be there.
He's gonna be.
Yeah, them niggas aren't serious.
He's gonna outlaw Draymond, Clay, and Steph from the Warriors.
Like, and it's just.
I don't think he's a bad coach.
I don't know why people act like he's a rookie coach until now. The guy is one of the most celebrated coaches in league history.
I think Steve Kerr's a good coach, in my opinion.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing with Steve Kerr. I think that, and I hate to admit it because it's starting to seem a lot more true day by day. Like, they are still trying to run off this old nostalgia that they've been fuming up for the past years. But it's like the league is so different now. The stuff that people was going for back, like, even 8 years ago, they're not going for no more. And then when you got guys that are like, it just like it doesn't work, and you're not getting people that even like replicated what got you to that success. We don't have a Iggy no more. We don't have a Livingston no more. We don't have like those kind of guys on our team to make it seem like we was feared offensively. So for you to just say like, oh yeah, we have the core, but we have none of the guys that really made like these teams special. It just doesn't work. We had backup centers. We had like a whole bunch of other. We had like wing defenders that could play and can shoot. Like we just don't have that right now. And for Steve Kerr to just be like, well,
that's on the GM.
It is on the GM, but it's also like Steve Kerr can speak up too.
I'm saying, but Kerr
there's some like Kerr playing Corey Joseph as long as he did this. There's some things Kerr did that didn't, like, I think the Warriors, I said this a while ago, I think the league caught up to what the Warriors were doing, and their counter to it was to go even more into what they were doing instead of adjusting. Like, I think that was questionable, but the roster construction hasn't been great from the GM. I don't think Mike Dunleavy's done a great job in terms of constructing the roster. I think he drafted pretty well. I think Podzimski was a good pick. Trace was a very good pick. But I don't think the roster construction has been great for a while. But Steve Kerr hasn't helped that.
Look
some of the decisions. He doesn't trust young players as much as he should.
Look how much Moody has played this year. And then look at how much he would play in a playoff situation. And then you would realize you're like, why is Moody playing so much more than the people that's been playing throughout the regular season? And you're not going to prepare him to play in the playoffs or play against other people. That makes no sense. Look how long it took for him to play Kuminga. And he would only play Kuminga whenever the real players just wouldn't play last year. And then you're like, well, why doesn't he play in the playoffs? And then you're just like, what? Like his thought processes would just be really inconsistent and it wouldn't make sense.
I get that he has flaws. I get all of that. I'm just saying I don't think there are available coaches that are better than him, and I also don't think it's a good idea to give up on him completely.
No,
why would you give up on him completely? Like, he has his flaws.
I'm not saying give up on him completely, but also it's like because you're there for so long and you have had such of a lasting impact. With a lot of coaches, that they don't change mindset. They don't change and switching it. Like they have a way they're going to go to it and they're going to stick to it. But
I agree. But I think he will actually do that. I think he will be, because we've all watched him before he became a coach, and I think he was the JJ Redick before JJ Redick in terms of being the best analyst, the most outspoken.
He was in the Suns front office, and then he was doing TV.
A little bit.
And he was great on both. He was just very he seemed like the guy who knows basketball most outside of the head coaches. And when he got the head coaching job, he did very well. So yeah, he was very stubborn this year, and I don't think he had a good year at all. But I think he's, as a person, when I heard him speak, I think he's flexible enough to realize it in time and do well.
But like I said, you have to look at some of the things he does, right? He'll do things of like slapping on the wrist, kind of things of not really like fully switching up on plans and ideas, and then he'll go back to the same stuff again. Like, why was Clay starting? He should have never started after everything that happened. He should have never started again. Still went back to starting after a couple of good games. Like, oh, now he just found it back. No, you don't do that kind of stuff. Like, you have to understand. He has a soft spot for some of these guys. You have to be more realistic on what your situation is and actually changing. He's not actually changing. That's the problem. And like I said, you'll hear stuff every once in a while, like, okay, yeah, I get that we should do this, do that, boom. And then he'll switch for a little bit, but then he'll go right back. And the thing is that's why they had to get rid of Mark and then switch in for Steve Kerr. Mark was good at developing. He got players developed pretty decently well, and then Steve Kerr knew how to utilize them.
But maximize those players, though.
You know how to maximize them. But the thing is, when you have younger players that you don't utilize or maximize very well, I think you need somebody to switch it up. You know, like get these other players prepared to play.
Some coaches are like development coaches, though.
I don't think that's a
every coach is different. Like, coaches are for different things. Some coaches can develop players and improve them, but when it's time to get over the top, They probably aren't built for championship level playoff basketball. They're probably not built for that. Some coaches aren't going to develop players, but championship time, when it's time for in-game alterations or playoff rotations, all of those things, they're great. I want to because I hear this a lot. Like a lot of people when they criticize coaches, the statement is this guy doesn't make adjustments. That's like the go-to statement. Like no matter, and then you ask them what adjustment they should have made, and it ends up just being some lineup adjustment or something.
But can I ask you this question about Steve Kerr real quick? I don't think that he was a good development coach like everyone thinks. The system was already in place. All he did was make minor adjustments and stick to it. So is that really to his coaching staff? Hold on. Let me finish, because before, when they had Mark Jackson, they were more defensive minded. When they were doing their runs before they got KG, they still had the same defense, and they also were playing with a higher offense. He just made minor adjustments to the system that was already in place.
I disagree. He put in a new whole.
I disagree too. I disagree too.
Okay, I just had to ask. I'm just asking. We can continue. We don't have to say anything.
I don't think he's going.
The Warriors went from, I think, passing the least in the league to the most in the league the moment Steve Kerr arrived. It took a couple years. The moment Steve Kerr arrived, they went from passing less than everyone, running more pick and rolls than everyone, to passing more than everyone and scoring off cuts and off-ball actions more than anyone in the league.
No, that's what I'm saying with the changes. No. That's
not minor.
That's not minor. Like that's a whole different system.
I'm not saying it like that. What I'm saying is as far as player development, he saw what he can do and he made the adjustments. That's why I said he's a good coach. But as far as player development, he already had the system in place. All he had to do is make the adjustments, which he did. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he developed anybody into an all-star because I haven't seen him. That's why I asked.
He's happy there.
I completely disagree.
He's a good coach. I'm not taking away from him. Like, you guys are right. He did do the adjustments.
Based on Steph was already a really good player. Clay was going where he was going. Draymond wasn't Draymond yet, but Draymond wasn't Draymond in 2015.
I mean, does it?
Okay.
But like Steph developing as a player, like to be better, because you put him in the right
adjustments. It's still, I still think it's
like I said, the playmaking, that's all him. But as far as what his plays were, he was able to get the full succession because he already saw what they were. That's all I'm trying to say. I don't think Kerr actually did any player development. As far as the game style and the system, he's made major improvements off of that. But as far as player development, that's why I think you guys now look at Golden State. You guys are in shambles. Who has you guys actually developed since then?
Andrew Wiggins. Okay. No.
Mark Jackson did the player development.
That's what I'm saying. See, thank you. That's what I'm saying.
I was disagreeing on the system part. You said the system was already in place. The system.
You guys mean as player development?
That's what the disagreement is. Yeah.
Okay,
player development.
like I said, we can move on. I don't want to
be in place. Yeah, but as I was saying about like people just say the word adjustments, and then you ask them what adjustments should be made, and they just talk about, oh, this lineup wasn't good. Like for me, adjustments is more than just lineups. But I want to ask you guys, like, what are the responsibilities of an NBA head coach? And ideally, from most important to least important, what are the most important to least important responsibilities of a head coach? Because all I hear people talk about is just, oh, this coach, man, he doesn't make adjustments because when this team was doing this, he didn't take this guy out of the game and put him in. Like, coaching is more than just substitutions and rotations. Like, coaching is a lot more than that. So, like, what do you guys think is the most important?
I think it's different for every situation.
Coaching,
I think if you're coaching the Detroit Pistons, optimizing that team to say win basketball games while sacrificing player development is probably not the best thing to do. While if you're coaching a contender, optimizing that team to play the best they can to try to win games is your number one priority. Where you can sacrifice a guy's development by based on what the team needs from him at that time to win. You see what I'm saying?
I think it should be. I think it should just be.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say real quick. Player development is number one to me because if you don't have the talent or the skill set, at least if you develop the players to fit well into that role, they can contribute to your team. So for me, it's player development is the most important thing. Whether it's rebounding, defense, you need some type of idea of what we're doing rather than just using talent or skill. So.
I think
it's managing egos is the most important thing for a coach because like you have to want to make the players play for you. You have to make them fit together and like know how to like use their personalities, how to push them to the right places, how to talk to them. Like, I think that's like the most important thing for a coach. And then
I think it should just be recognizing their weaknesses and planning around that and use them the best way they can.
Development.
Because if they
First legendary.
yeah, because if they can't, sorry, yeah, yeah, if they can't recognize, I think all coaches should be able to recognize what they can and can't do, and if they do the same thing over and over again. Oh, is that my mic or?
I don't know.
But yeah, I just think all the coaches, like at least should have the basic ability to be able to determine if who has what strengths and who has what weaknesses, and be able to go from there and adjust.
I don't know whose mic that was. I really don't know. But Storm, I think that's a good point because I wanted to ask, and this is for everyone again. As a coach, what's more important to you guys? A coach who has a system, and it's a system that works, whether that's dribble handoffs or high pick and roll spread offense. They want to run a lot of flex offense, Princeton, whatever. Like a coach that has their offense they want to play, or a coach who is malleable to the players they have, and they change their system to who they have around them. Which coach is malleable? The better coach?
Yeah, coach is malleable. I think it's 100% the better coach.
The first one, I ain't gonna lie.
It depends. Honestly, it depends on the situation. I guess I would say the second one then, because I would think the best in terms of what I feel is the best. I don't know, man. Honestly, it doesn't fucking start with the coach when it comes to these teams. It starts with the front office. Because I have seen it when it comes to coaches. You can have a coach that has a system. Frank Vogel would be in defense of being a defensive
sign players that fit the system.
Thank you. And you don't sign players that fit the system, and now he looks way worse than what he is. But when he has those players, you're talking about a team that won a championship. So one year Frank Vogel was like a great coach. The next year he looks ass. So I can't sit there. I would genuinely say it's between. I prefer a coach that has adaptability, being able to be in any situation, being able to no matter what team's in front of you, being able to find a way to beat that team, find a way to get these 15 guys put in the best situation to get the best outcome. Maybe that's not adaptability.
I think they're one and the same, to be honest. I think they're one and the same because, to be honest, every coach has a plan, and the object is to get wins. So if we're making plays and stuff with a coach that's sticking to the plan and the players ain't getting into groove, he can still make the adjustments to get the win because the plan at the end of the day is to win. Now, a coach that develops players may take longer. So for me, depending on my time frame, if I want to win now, I would go with the coach that actually has a plan than actually a coach that would develop, because that would be more for younger players. Some players that come in the league, they may not understand my plan name. But for both ends of this argument, I just feel that they both have to have a plan.
A coach who's stuck in his plan, though. Sometimes the players
look at Pop. Okay, look at Pop.
So if you look at Pop, his coaching changed. The 03 Spurs played very different.
But it's still the same game plan.
No, it's not. That's what I'm saying. It's a completely different game plan and system. What they did in 2003. No, hold on. What they did in 2003 for him to maximize that roster and win was very different than what he did in 2012, 13, 14, during that time. 14 when he won. Also, a guy like Larry Brown. You look at who I think is one of the greatest coaches of all time, doesn't get the respect he deserves. Mm-hmm. What he did in the Sixers around Allen Iverson, way different than what he did with the Pistons.
Even if you look at
he didn't win in the Olympics, though.
Even for Pop, even with Pop, and add on to your point, Jalen, even with Pop, you don't even have to go back to 03. Look at 2014. Look at how he coached in 2013, 2014, and look at how he was coaching when Kawhi emerged and then post Kawhi. Look how he was coaching. That was even different.
Yeah. What I'm saying is he's still sticking to a plan. That's his plan, is to do what he has to do. Good point, Jalen. But my whole thing is Pop still hasn't changed his identity to the full extent. He still rests his players. He still allows them to develop, and he's been successful. That's what I'm saying. When you said a plan A type of coach, he's been doing it the longest, and he stuck to his plan. He's made his adjustments, which makes him a part of the other part where I said it's one and the same. So you actually helped my argument because not only did he stick to his plan, he also knew how to make the adjustments to make his team better. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think Pop was the exception.
To be malleable. If you're saying his plan is to make the changes based on what's given to him, then yeah, that's sticking to the plan. But that's
Yeah,
But
I
what I'm
think
saying,
Pop
but
was
that's what I'm
effective.
saying.
He's
Everything
basically
is
saying
based
his
off of
plan
a
is to
plan.
win games.
Look,
That's
this is
what
why
he
I
said.
say that everything is based off of a plan. Because if you have a coach who can develop players, you might as well have him as your assistant or your D League coach, because there's no true set formula of him building up your team beyond a certain type of level. For example, I hate to use this. Let's compare the Magic to the OKC. The talent is different, but both of them aspired to do really good this season and surprise people. But everyone's going to say the level of coaching is different, but the players are too. The system's different. That's what I'm trying to say. There's two different young guys coming up with great talent, but they're able to coach well. Are they going to be able to get to the next level? I don't think so, because they don't have that plan A format like a Popovich or a Phil Jackson or whoever you want to use that's an elite.
I think Dak knows
I don't
that
think
guy.
Phil Jackson's malleable though. Phil Jackson's trying to put his system in, and I just wish I got to see that. I mean, we got to see what that system does when Derek Fisher tried to do that at the Knicks when he didn't have Kobe or Jordan. I would have loved to see Phil Jackson, what he would have done if he didn't have a Kobe, Michael Jordan situation where he was in more of a team, let's say like the 04 Pistons or something along those lines, where I just don't see if the triangle would work. Even though I think
I would have liked to see Phil coaching LeBron.
I just don't think the triangle works in today's NBA, but I mean, I don't know.
Well, teams
they use the triangle different ways. It's not like
it's
not the actual triangle, but like
The triangle is not a system. It's like a very open system anyway. It's flexible on its own. It's flexible on its own. It's not like a fixed play or a set of plays. It's
that's
like
what made the triangle good, because there was so many counters out of every
yeah.
single.
Actually, think what the Warriors are doing, or what they were doing, not now, but what they were doing, it was working, is actually very similar to the triangle in a way. Like the way the players moved, it's just extended from the mid range to the 3-point line, but it's the same as the triangle. Like the way I was watching it, at least, it felt very similar to the triangle. Like the same plays in terms of where the player who passes the ball first would go and which position would get the ball and where they would go. Like it feels like it was very influenced by the triangle, the Steve Kerr system.
Definitely very influenced by the triangle. I mean, he played in it. I think you can see. I think Steve Kerr, like for me, he's the blend of. He played under Phil Jackson, and then he played under Popovich, and then he was in the Suns front office. I think he just blended everything he got from all three. Like that's just what I think he did, and I think it's smart. I'm like, but that's how I just view it. And I
It's
think
more the Suns and it's more the Suns and Phil Jackson though. I don't think he had a lot of great Popovich in him. Maybe the defense, but
the defense.
I mean, Phil Jackson was great. Phil Jackson was great defensively too.
I don't think Popovich was a great offensive coach until like the 2010s.
Yeah.
I don't think he was doing anything spectacular on offense until then.
Oh yeah, because
to answer your question, though, I go with number one for a reason. Like when you go through NBA history, the reason I go with number one is most successful coaches, like they had multiple championships with one team, as opposed to being hired mid-season and you're like you're throwing him in the water and he has to learn how to swim. These coaches usually don't repeat that success, although this one-time or two-time success requires a high level of flexibility. But how many coaches actually won with like 3 different teams? Usually it's the coach that gets the trust from the GM. They're on the same page, and that's why I agree with Domo that it starts with the GM. The GM gets a coach, gives them the trust, they're involved together in the team constructing, and they build a team together based on what the coach wants. That has a much higher likability of winning than getting a coach who's flexible, yes, but he's playing against teams that were built for a system, not just teams that, like, yeah, you can have a system and it doesn't work with a certain set of players, but there are 30 teams in the league. Like, you cannot tell me that all 30 teams were constructed on the fly. A team with a built-in system, with a GM on the same page as the coach, with the players buying in, with that kind of roster construction, will always be better than a team that was built on the fly and then they got a coach and you have to blend. Like, you have to compare it to the rest of the league, and that's why I take number one.
I personally have number one too, for similar reasons. But yeah,
would you guys have Eric Spoelstra the better coach than Phil Jackson? I just want to see what people value.
I think he's supposed, like, he's approaching GOAT territory to me. Like the shit he does with these like rosters that I don't think are good at all, and he can just maximize like a lot of these players by putting them in like they have defense limitations, put him in a crazy zone. You can, but I think his offense is set somehow like they're a bit like he leaves some things to desire. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think he's a great offensive coach, but I think he gets he's good enough to maximize some of these players.
Is that more impressive? Is that more impressive than winning championships with Kobe, LeBron, Jokic?
That's what I was gonna say.
More impressive doesn't mean better.
Yeah, that's exactly Mark you took it. I was gonna say just because Phil won championships, some people would prefer that than actually what Spo's doing. Mm-hmm. But as far as it's all on personality, for me, if you get a coach that can just coach anybody, and hold on, that's bad because if you get a coach at some point that can coach anybody, where are you guys really gonna go? You're actually gonna need a superstar at some point to get you over that hump. Because I'm being honest with you, look at the roster of Miami. They are successful in the playoffs. But they need one or two superstars to get them off of the hump, and it just isn't off of coaching alone.
I think it would be different if we didn't see Spo already in that situation with multiple superstars and he wiped it out.
So we've seen a both.
If he actually had,
I've seen him do both, where he's not in a maximized roster.
Philly with Embiid and Maxey,
an actual system.
I get the talent thing with Spo, but I think I'm not saying Miami have exceptional talent from a traditional standpoint, but I think we understate the importance of Spo has his own philosophy that certain players aren't going to fit. There's a reason Spo doesn't get traditional bigs. Doesn't work with what Spo's trying to do.
He hates slow bigs.
Yeah, Spo is I heard someone say, "Oh, Zach Edey in Miami, you lost your man." Spo is not taking traditional bigs. He wants his Chris Boshes, his Bams. He wants those type of bigs. We're going to be mobile. Allow you to move around the court on both sides of the ball. So Spo has his own system, and he gets players who fit that system, and it works. Even though he might not have traditional talent, he makes sure he has solid playmaking from multiple positions, guys who can make decisions, movement shooters, a Duncan Robertson, Tyler Hero. He needs those things, and he needs length on defense. So that's a Haywood Highsmith, a Caleb Martin, a Jimmy Butler, Bam. Jovic, who's actually played a big part. I think he's going to be a big part going forward. So he might not have the traditional talent, but what Spo needs and what Miami needs are players who are going to play that way. Miami would be better as presently constructed than if they got a player who just is completely way out of what Miami needs from their players. So I can't think of a superstar off my head, but think of a player who's a star, but the antithesis of everything Spo believes in. So maybe.
Do you think Dame will fit them? Well,
he would have fit with Dame.
Would he have fit?
Yeah, of course.
Dame because of his movement shooting and his playmaking role, yes. But
a defense rebounding.
So you think Trae Young
he wouldn't be fully compatible, but
I think Trae would fit.
But see, Mars,
what I mean by that is Miami have built a roster without the superstars, but they built a roster that fits Spo and it allows him to get the most out of players who traditionally you wouldn't get the most out, which is why Gabe Vincent looks so different in LA than he would in Miami, or why Max Strus doesn't look as good. Even though I think Max Strus is actually kind of getting underrated now. But just generally speaking, players like that, you see them. Spo's gonna get an undrafted guy to look like the best player ever. I get it.
Isn't that a disadvantage though?
How good he is and what his system is.
Isn't that a disadvantage? You're limiting yourself by not getting a big, like you just said. Isn't that creating a disadvantage to where it makes it that much harder?
I don't think he does.
Every aspect of basketball has advantages and disadvantages. I mean, that's what makes basketball so. Some teams have a low post threat. But traditionally, if you play low post offense, you're going to be a slower paced team. You're not going to get up and down the floor as much. You might not have as good spacing. Then other teams are going to have high pick and roll players, but then maybe you don't have an interior presence. There's a lot of everything has a counter in basketball. There's no team that's going to be completely perfect in every area.
But also to a question, let me ask. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I didn't know if I was interrupting somebody. I thought you said somebody was.
No, you good. You good.
But I was gonna ask, why would you get somebody? Okay, if you're trying to get somebody that is is good, but they don't fit your system, why would you go out of your way and get somebody that you know you would misuse and you wouldn't use to the full potential that would fit your your way of play?
Names. That's why.
I know, but I'm talking about for good coaches. The same way how we like the Warriors need to get rid of Wiseman. He didn't know how to play, but we needed a lob threat. We needed a lob threat, but he couldn't play. Like he just didn't fit us. Like, why would you go out of your way to get something that wouldn't help you, even though they could be talented, when you can just get somebody that probably isn't as good as them, but they fit better in your system and they can seem a lot more
Sometimes
better.
people are blinded by names. I think the bad organizations tend to be blinded by names.
I mean, like, well, you could see the Russell Westbrook thing didn't make sense. Everyone could see it didn't make sense.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
but just coming off a
Russell LeBron,
just coming off a triple double, how well he played to close the season, you could see like why they thought that level of talent, just like star power.
I never thought that was going to work. I also didn't think
every fan, like every Twitter head or everyone who's on these platforms knew it wasn't going to work. So the fact that the Lakers misread the situation,
tough.
Yeah, but those same people are still picking them to go to the finals, though. Those Twitter people that you're talking about.
blind faith, and you know who. Like,
but also, I felt the same way about the Brooklyn Nets trio when we got Harden in them. I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was a bad idea when we got Harden.
Oh, you're
wrong. No. You're wrong.
Yeah,
they were cooking, bro.
The playmaking, the shooting.
The reason why
damn.
Hold on. The reason why I didn't think so was because what we had to do to get him.
They were walking to a chip, man. I'm sorry. Like,
they were going to be so dominant.
For me, I didn't like it because I didn't see how that was going to work offensively between three guys that like to really hold the ball a lot. It's pretty good off ball.
Yeah,
but
I was more concerned about
you saw how it worked, right? Like you saw them.
No, I did.
Yeah, Kyrie and Kevin Durant are great off ball.
defense.
I'm saying adding Harden to that, but also what you have to get out of getting Harden. What are you left with on that team?
They had a great bench though.
Nah, great is a stretch.
Great, but for those three and that roster, like
wait, what were their bench? Well, Bruce Brown.
Bruce Brown was playing center.
No, that was 20.
I don't think Nick Claxton had emerged at that point.
That was after Mike D'Antoni and Ime were no longer.
21 was.
You left Steve Nash to his own devices. That's when it was a little. It got tricky in that regard. But like 21 is when you had Jeff Green. You had Jeff Green.
Okay, that's good.
Who was our
Joe Harris? Joe Harris, Blake Griffin,
Aldridge.
Mike James. Mike James was on that team.
Mike James.
Yes. That's all I remember. I might be missing something. Like
Blake Griffin. I forgot. Blake Griffin was there.
I forgot.
That was a rookie class.
Was it rookie or year two class?
Year two.
Landry Shamet was on their team.
Okay, year two class.
Bro, that's a nice team. Okay, that's a nice team. Claxton too.
The team was.
Claxton played like 10 minutes, so no.
The team was undoubtedly.
He only really started playing when they had traded and got like Ben and shit, but.
But like it worked. Like
it did. Offensively, they was disgusting. I just like I said, I felt like we was gonna run into problems with teams.
They were the best offense that season.
They was. It was really good offensively.
Rating
I had defensive concerns. That was my thing. I had defensive.
Oh well, the defense wasn't great, but
offensively, that was my. I had my concern about the big bro. We gave up Jarrett Allen, and I was so mad at that. Like. Jarrett Allen should have never left. He should have never left.
I still hope that team was running through the playoffs.
They was. They definitely was.
Because they would have beat Milwaukee. I was just saying, but like,
it was the perfect year too. The entire Western Conference.
Yeah, it was the year where everyone was hampered by injuries.
The Clippers, the Nuggets.
I was watching it through. I was watching
the Lakers were injured.
I called the
Warriors,
the tiebreaker with KD. I was like, we
got Bucks.
Warriors.
They weren't. Yeah, okay, buddy.
That was where my original thing was wanting to see the Warriors Nets play in the finals. I wanted to see that.
What? How?
See that.
They were out in the play.
Those are my two teams.
The Warriors were
when they were in the play, and he wanted them to win. Like
I wanted them. I wanted the Nets, and I wanted the Warriors to go.
Of course, it's a what if. But you a Bucks fan, of course, you're gonna say they weren't gonna win. I'm talking to drink more water in the chat.
I mean, for Bucks fans,
he's salty that his team.
For Bucks fans, all you have to say is the Nets only won 2-0, and then the Bucks were up in like halftime before Kyrie got injured.
What kind of 8-point lead is just? Oh yeah, we were gonna win because we were.
No, I'm not saying like I don't.
I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying like for Bucks fans, like they took care of home courts, and then we have to take care of home courts.
Yeah, but the whole world knows Brooklyn were running through the
even
running through.
Even if they would have gotten, even if they would have gotten past Milwaukee, they would have.
Atlanta would have got swept and they would have beat the Suns in 5. Like it wouldn't have been close.
They would have Atlanta, bro.
The way KD was playing,
yeah, because Atlanta made the conference finals. Remember they packed up Philly.
They would have lost to Atlanta, bro.
And Steve Nash would have had a championship ring, and his whole narrative.
Steve Nash would have been a good coach.
Yeah, see that? I'm telling you.
Wait, can I ask a question? Can I ask a question? Now niggas bringing up what if Atlanta was good. So now I feel like this is a great time to ask my question. Listen. As a Laker fan over these last couple of years, you know that term injury prone has been thrown around on my big Anthony Davis.
Put that super chat up.
After
playoff riser.
After another year of a certain Greek freak being injured in the playoffs.
Incoming agenda. Okay.
Let's say it, Domo.
Is it fair to say that, hey man, we got to have a conversation about how the two best bigs in the East are injury prone?
I do. I
2020.
I understand
2023, 2024.
Won a ring, he evades the injury concerns. But like since Giannis has been Giannis, so 19 onwards, the only times he hasn't been hurt in the playoffs is 19 and 22.
Yes.
That's it. Every other year he's been hurt. This year he was hurt. Last year he was hurt. 21 he got hurt. 20 he got hurt.
So he got injured and won the championship.
He gonna win.
Yeah, he got injured and came back and they won the ring. So like he evades.
Yeah, because Middleton at 32 to close it up.
They win. Yeah. Like if Philly were to win this year, crazily, Embiid would start, all the criticism would just disappear. Like that's just how it happens. You win, criticism doesn't exist. And I'm not one to criticize people for being hurt. I think if you're hurt, you're hurt. I don't criticize you for that. But we're not gonna act like Giannis isn't an injury concern come April. Like that, he just is. He just is. I'm not docking him for that. He's still one of the best players in the league, easily, in my opinion.
Which is kind of crazy. He plays few minutes and still gets injured somehow.
It's more
in regular season.
I mean, Embiid gets unlucky, but
yeah, like someone just hit Embiid's face somehow, and then he had the orbital fracture.
Embiid is the most hated player in the NBA, and I know LeBron fans gonna get mad at me that. I don't see anything positive about that man on social media.
Yo, did you see?
Plays well, he's a free throw merchant. He plays badly, he's a criminal. He's the worst MVP ever. Embiid is the most hated player in the NBA.
Did you see?
I mean, do you just see the way do you see how dirty he was playing this series? I mean.
Did you see that? Did you see that?
He played really nasty.
He played really.
Did you see that video of the Knicks after the Knicks fans after the series, bro? One guy was like, "Yo," he held up Embiid's jersey and was like, "Yo, I'll wipe my ass with this."
Oh my god!
You talking about the side talk shit? The side talk? Yes, that's just hilarious.
They had that little.
I'm sorry. I believe the hype, man. The NBA is better when the Knicks are good because Knicks fans are the funniest people. Yo, they were outside the stadium. It's the Knicks, so-called Knicks. What are those Knicks? So-called Knicks. I'm like, yo, these niggas are crazy. I knew it was crazy when they put the fucking Knicks jersey on the Wilt statue, nigga. I said, yo, these niggas are mad.
They're still saying fuck Trae Young like 4 years later, man.
Bro, they said fuck Trae Young after the first win this year. They were, fuck Trae Young. Fuck Trae Young. I'm like, what does he have to do with this? Y'all niggas
like this shit.
Hey, bro, they squat on him at the game. They hate him. That's different. But yes, the NBA is better with the Knicks. Look, I've seen a couple people, and obviously I'm starting to realize now that Brandon nigga, he's just contrarian. That nigga don't got no sense.
Just ignore him.
But no, I put that on my timeline. You know, when the Bucks got eliminated, you know, I went crazy. My Reese over Dame agenda. Dame's a loser. You know, Bay Area Kimba again. Listen. Look, I don't want to waste too much time. Honestly, we really can't do that if we want to. But I really put out there, like, look, how are we not going to talk about the fact that this man, Giannis, he's technically injury prone? Now I'm being told I don't know what injury prone is. I thought being injury prone meant you always get hurt. Now being injury prone is you got to get hurt and miss regular season games. You got to get hurt and not play a certain amount. Like Giannis plays 70+ games all the time, so he's not injury prone, even though he's always injured in the playoffs. And that nigga plays hurt. I thought injury prone meant you were prone to getting injured. It is in the name of the description is in the name. But apparently, no, because he's able to play 70 games. Nah, man, he's not injury prone. Fuck out of here. That nigga's Mr. Glass. That nigga's Terry Cloth, which means what?
He's very.
Come on, man. What we talking about?
So I don't wait. So I just want to clarify. So you guys would prefer, to the people saying the regular season thing, you guys would prefer a player plays 75 regular season games and then just gets hurt in the playoffs, or someone plays 50 regular season games and plays in the playoffs? Like, which one would you guys prefer? Which one would you
plays in the playoffs, bro?
Which player would you call injury prone, or would you call them both injury prone?
They're both. They're both injury prone for sure.
You gotta miss 50 games. They're both injury prone.
But what I would rather them play in the playoffs though, for sure. Like,
yeah, like KD's been missing like half the regular season every year for years now, and he makes the playoffs. He plays.
And this year he actually played a lot of games. So
yeah. And this is 1 year.
Giannis doesn't miss games. Giannis just missed the whole series.
The entire series now.
The entire thing, right?
He just missed the whole playoff.
He wasn't there for a single second of that.
I'm gonna say, didn't he miss a game last year?
He only played a game and a half.
He came out
last
game
year.
1 and then
he played 3 games last year. He played 3 games.
No, the playoffs. I thought it was only
he
a
missed
game
game
and a
2
half.
and game 3, right?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
One full game they won.
Game 2 and game 3, and then came back.
Yeah.
So he basically played 2 games. It's basically 2 games.
He played a game and a half.
I really wanted to see Giannis like run through Miles Turner too. That would have been great. But
yeah,
he played 2.25 games out of 5, so he missed.
And I know Middleton tight too, because he really like.
Middleton was playing, bro.
When was Giannis hurt in the playoff? Besides the last 2 years, 2020 he got hurt, and in 2021 he got hurt.
You could literally see the pain in Middleton's eyes, bro. Like,
Chris Middleton was hooping, bro. People forgot he was that man. People forgot that he was just injured. That's why he was bad. Oh, and he did this last year in the playoffs too against Miami.
Let me just say, what's going on by Portis? Nobody gonna talk about that.
Man, fuck Bobby Portis. Hey, look, breaking news. Breaking news. Patrick Beverley has been banned from any guest shows on ESPN.
Are you sure?
What? Why?
Wait, is that on Twitter?
Because he refused to get interviewed by the ESPN reporter because she wasn't subbed to the pod. I don't get why this is such a big deal. I think
it's hilarious.
Like he's been all season, he's been saying to reporters, if you want sub to the pod, you're not interviewing me. Now all of a sudden it's a big deal because this ESPN reporter must be some big time ESPN person. And now I'm seeing rumors be like,
I think she's been there for 40 years or something.
This lady is ESPN's most professional employee, and then Malik Andrews like, yeah, she's a great employee. Like, shut up, who cares? Like, what?
Wait. Do you guys think Patrick Beverley's going to be in the NBA next year? Because if he is, man, this league is watered down.
He's still good enough.
This league is cooked.
But like, I don't know why they've made it such a big deal. He's been doing it for months, but all of a sudden it's crazy. Like,
I'm not gonna lie though.
Pat Beverley getting that game 5.
For what he said about Tyrese,
that's so
and then
pitiful.
proceeded to put up 13 assists.
That's so
kind of crazy.
They just made.
So we're not gonna give Middleton his praise, man.
Nah,
after you guys were calling him Middleton.
We
you guys were calling him Middleton, bro.
Oh my God. Middleton offensively, he's still got it. He's not getting to the rim. Like, he didn't really get to the rim before, but now it's like all jumpers. But he make jumpers. Like, his mid-range game it's up there. He make jumpers.
How much praise do you want to give the Milwaukee Batman, bro? Like, look, I've been saying it. He's been carrying his team for eons at this point. I've been saying he's been out here saving legacies, especially of a certain injury-prone guy. Like, I've been saying it. Middleton deserves better than this. Honestly, he deserves better than to have Giannis be hurt again. He deserved better than have these niggas pick Dame to do exactly what Dame does. Not show up in the playoffs.
Is Dame injury prone?
No. He's getting
why?
You make
he missed all of
he was hurt. He was hurt in this playoffs. He was dealing with, what was it, 2022, where he was hurt like damn near the whole year.
Yeah, abdominals something.
In 2019, he played in the playoffs, but he was hurt that time too. So like, he got hurt in the 2020 playoffs in the bubble. He injury prone?
Is Dame injury prone? Hey man,
Wait,
Kimba might be injury prone, man.
What series
I
was he
gotta
injured
go
in
real quick, but I just gotta ask Dom.
2019, he was dealing with, I think, some rib issues in the playoffs definitely against the Warriors, but I can't remember when it started. But he was dealing with some rib thing. I can't remember what it was, but a Portland fan. Where's Piccolo? Piccolo in the chat. He's gonna tell me about Dame's injuries. I know he's just gonna know.
Real quick, let Cowboy go. Let Cowboy go.
Remember what I told you about Brunson and Dame? Remember the last 3 games? Has it not been looking like he's a shot chucker? Brunson.
The shots go in. We live with it.
Low key.
Okay, I'm just saying that.
Bro,
You guys have a
Brunson,
good one.
bro.
I gotta go. Go New York. Go New York. Go. We gonna beat Indianapolis in 6 games, baby. Let's go.
Wait. We gonna have Brunson or Donovan Mitchell now?
Mixon 4.
Let's have them combo.
Who would I rather have?
Who's better?
Oh, who's better?
Mitchell.
You said Brunson or Mitchell?
Yes.
LaMelo Ball. Look, man, shout out to the Indiana Pacers. Because when they put the smack down on them bum ass niggas, when they was in the locker room keeping the ball away from Giannis, I said it then. These bum ass Bucks don't want no business with the Pacers. It's over for them. It's clipped. It's the year of the Reese. If I believed in Chinese New Year, it would be the year of the Reese. He don't even gotta win a championship. He don't gotta get no further. He did his job. He knocked off that bum ass Bay Area Kimba, who everybody told me would be the 2 that Giannis needed. That nigga is not the 2. He's the
Wasn't
one.
he injured?
When I said it, now he was injured. When he dropped 35, he wasn't injured.
Yes, he wasn't injured when he did drop 35. Yes, you're right.
He was injured going
got
into
injured. Yes, he was. He was literally injured going into the playoffs.
It just got worse
in the game.
3.
Yes. So stop it. No. Let's not act like,
Wait, what? He was into the playoffs?
Someone to talk to him in the hospital when he's in the hospital. He needs someone to chat with him.
Dame played pretty
well. He got injured even more.
Yeah, it got re-upped.
Yeah, like an Achilles, bro.
Re-aggravated or just
re-aggravated. Yeah, it got exacerbated.
Dame was injured all series. So is Reese.
No, we're not doing the Reese injury, bro.
Wait.
I don't even care. Reese played. I think Reese played pretty good in the series anyway. So
what did Reese?
That doesn't mean he's not injured. The nigga was still hurt. He's still hurt.
Season? Was it?
Yes. His hamstring been hurt.
When was the hamstring injury?
Against Boston in
it was after. It was like right after.
In January, we're still talking about that injury.
It was before.
That was the same thing that
There's
happened.
no way it was after. I thought it was like after. I might be wrong.
It was right before. It was right before All-Star break. I'm pretty sure.
No. It wasn't before the All-Star break because he was. I had to be after.
It was after.
No, it was before the All-Star break.
I remember people making jokes in the All-Star game.
I was right. He got hurt in a Boston game in January.
Yes.
Came back. Then he played 1 game when he came back against Portland. Wasn't right. Missed some more time. Then came back again against Boston on the minutes restriction in late January, and he's played ever since. So I was right. It was January.
I remember he was dunking in the All-Star game and stuff. Like people were like, "Why are you here?" Like,
bro, he was shooting. He was cooking in the All-Star break. They said he was right, and then he proceeded.
Having a hamstring though is tough because it makes a lot of things.
Playing on a hamstring injury is something that you should.
Something. I'm like,
hey,
bro,
that's a fact.
Getting back and backpedaling on defense and stuff like sucks. Like
weren't you guys also clowning James Harden when he was playing through this hamstring?
I'm not you guys.
James Harden was playing for like almost a year with that hamstring. It's only recently got it right.
I stand on the fact James Harden ruined his peak by playing in 2021 in the playoffs after he hurt his hamstring.
That hamstring lingered for a while.
I wholeheartedly believe we still have top 10 player James Harden today. Wholeheartedly, I believe that.
Yes,
but it is what it is. You know.
Yo, so what's killing me is you can't sit here and say, "Oh, Halliburton can't use that injury excuse no more." Then don't tell me about Dame being hurt when he's out here putting up 35. Don't tell me about it. Because if you're capable of playing great, then I'm gonna have the expectation of you. And when niggas talk about this nigga Dame the way they like to talk about this nigga Dame, I don't hear none of that bullshit. I've been telling y'all niggas for free.
What I was saying, I didn't know he came in with hurt though. I just thought he became worse.
When that nigga got traded to the Bucks, what did I say? It looks like they have their 3 because Middleton is the number 2. Giannis is the 1. Niggas call me crazy, and I'm not gonna lie. Middleton like the 2, man. I ain't gonna hold you. Now Middleton like the 1 and Dame was the 2. You're not gonna win with Dame as your 2. I've been saying that. You can't win with Dame as a 2 or as a 1. It won't happen. It won't. He's a loser. He stinks.
Oh my god.
Man, since I've become a changed man and I'm not agenda pushing, it's funny hearing Domo push agendas.
Yeah, this is crazy. Did this start with Giannis went to Dame?
Yeah, it's funny. But we got some super chats. First of all, shout out to DJ Clark for becoming a member. Shout out to you. NP13, he said, I don't know if it's placebo, but has AD missed less games since he put on more muscle and moved to the 5? Sure, he still falls down and grimaces every game, but he gets up and keeps playing at least.
He stopped missing it after he went through the transition.
When he went to the 5, he played 40 games, 56 games, and now 76 games.
But also, a lot of players started playing more.
5, what, after the chip?
No, 2021-2022 season.
22.
Because they
21-2022 season.
Darvin Ham came and made him.
This is the first year he's been consistently available, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Man, AD played 36 games, 40 games, 56 games. That is incredibly
this year we saw a lot more people just playing more. I don't know.
Yeah, there was.
Well, the players that usually miss a lot of games.
Yeah, like Kawhi. How many games did Kawhi play?
Steph played more games than he usually played in a while. Steph has played more games than he usually does in a while. Kawhi.
I mean, Embiid didn't.
Embiid is.
I mean, what do you expect?
Embiid was playing 65 games a year.
I'm saying the players that we usually don't see play a lot.
Steph played 70 more games too.
Donovan Mitchell only played 55.
I think Luke also played his career high in games.
Trey played 54.
Zion hit his first 70.
Luka played 70 games.
Been consistently available. He only played 46.
Who?
Randall.
Oh,
he said who?
No, I didn't hear him.
But yeah, generally speaking, yeah, I think guys were more available this year than most other years. Yeah, but
Chet really played 82 games. No rest.
Well, this playoffs we're in round 1, and I've seen a bunch of injuries. So
look,
Luka's injured.
The East is full of one-leg advantage right now. Okay, everybody got their leg.
I wanted to ask, judging on the KP injury, how many games do you think the Boston Celtics should lose in the Eastern Conference?
Oh wait,
because I think they're gonna walk.
What's the injury?
They're losing to Orlando.
I mean, Derek White's just gonna be scoring 25 points consistently. I mean, they can just sweep everyone.
What was the KP injury?
Calf strain.
Oh shit!
He's gonna miss the second
round.
round.
KD 2019, Giannis this year. That's the injury.
Oh yeah, wait. Speaking of the Celtics, Mars, I got a question for you. Did you? Because I don't know if I'm gonna say the whole thing right. Did you watch LeBron and JJ's most recent episode where they were talking about
3-point share?
Yeah. So you know how he was talking about how step back threes are a good shot, stuff like that, right? And I was wondering, do you think Jason Tatum has been, because I was thinking overall, how many players are their coaches telling them, hey, maybe you should shoot more threes, and they don't want to because it would cause a dip in their numbers, but overall it may generate better offense for their team. So, and this is not trying to make bail for Jason Tatum, but he's just the most clear example. Do you think that's the reason why he shoots so many step backs? Because his coach told him, hey, I know your numbers are going to suffer, but overall you taking more of these shots makes our team better in a way.
Yes,
Mazzulla does want to take a lot of threes.
Yes, that's because he doesn't shoot mid-range that good anyway, so threes is just going to be more valuable.
You go back and watch Jason Tatum after they had that conference finals run his rookie year. That next year, he lived in the mid-range. That's where he took a bunch of mid-range jumpers. And the talk about Jason Tatum at that point was he takes too many. That was the point. He took too many. And I wholeheartedly believe the analytics department in Boston or the coaching staff in Boston said, you make these middies at a 39% clip. If you made them threes and shot them at a 33%,
37% clip,
offense would be better because just statistically, a 39% mid-range, you could shoot 25% from three, it would be more valuable. So cut these out. I genuinely think he got told that. Now, I believe the analytics make sense in terms of points per possession. You want layups, dunks, free throws, corner threes, all of those things. That makes sense. But completely cutting out the mid range is stupid in my opinion.
But also,
I don't think.
but to be
I don't think
honest, though, like for the mid range to exist, like you have to be like monster efficient though, for it to make sense for you to be taking mid range.
I think
Or at
it's a
least
good
high
enough
clip.
shot.
At least
at high volume, yes,
Yeah.
but like generally speaking, I think you having the mid range.
I think
teams are gonna
2021
give
was
up.
his
If you're
best.
good enough from the mid range, your defense is gonna have to respect you. You can't just let people shoot wide open mid range jumpers.
Yeah.
So if guys can make mid range jumpers, you're then gonna have to extend out the paint, which means guys can cut, which means you can get dunks. If you're a threat from all over the court, teams are gonna have to react, which will then create the better looks. It will create the open threes. It will create the dunks. It will create free throws.
Yeah.
So taking it out of your shot diet completely, I think is wrong.
Yeah.
But having it too much, like a la the Phoenix Suns or maybe the Clippers, I think that's also a problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he should be limited, but
I think he found
what I don't like is when people talk about like.
I think he's found a good blend with the post ups. Like they.
What I don't like is when people talk about Tatum and just like, oh,
he's making
Tatum.
I think he's good enough right now.
I think he needs to really. I think he doesn't back people down more than like. I think he should back people down more, like Tatum, because he's also he's one of those people that's like underrated, like really strong too. But he doesn't use his strength like a lot unless he.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
All right,
Didn't he like double his post up this season?
On from the three thing, do you think there's players right in the NBA who don't want to have their numbers suffer, so they're like their offense is suffering overall? Because it's like I'm right now. Let's just say they're shooting 39% from three, but their coach is like, "Hey, if you take 5 more, our offense will be overall better." I don't know the points per possession thing, but they're just saying that, right? You think there's players who are saying, "Nah, I'm good, so my numbers won't suffer," but overall their offense is suffering a lot. And do you like have an example of
what numbers are you talking about? I wanna ask what numbers suffer, like, because people look at true shooting now.
No, all right. So let's say somebody is shooting. I'm gonna just say 40% because that's kind of what everybody strives for. So let's say somebody's shooting 40% from three, and I don't know all the numbers, but I'm just using this as an example.
Mm-hmm.
But they're shooting it on like 5 attempts, and
we're describing Kevin Durant right now. Kevin Durant was going to be my example, so I'm just gonna keep thinking about KD.
Yeah. So the coach says, "Hey, if you shoot 3 to 4 more, this will generate this many points per possession more and make our offense better." But they're like, "Nah, I want my I like 50, 40, 90 or whatever." Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't want my numbers to suffer.
I don't. The example, I think Kevin Durant is the example. I'm very surprised in this era of analytics, KD still isn't shooting 8-9 threes a game. Very surprised. But I don't think it's because KD cares about his field goal percentage. I think because this is the 40% from three inherently is more valuable than 50% on mid-range jumpers. Just 1.2 points per possession versus 1. It's just mathematically it's worth more. Yeah. But you are still missing 60% of them, which means teams are gonna potentially get out in transition because of missed shots. You can run long rebounds, faster pace. So even though yes, you are getting 1.2 points per possession versus 1, there is still a trade-off in terms of when you miss 60% of the time, you are giving it back on defense. Your defense won't be set because you're missing more shots. All of those things. So I think part of with Kevin Durant's shot diet is he's thinking of which shots can I make at the highest clip.
Mm-hmm.
And you ain't about to tell KD stop taking your mid-range jumpers when he making them at the clip he's been making them at for the last 4 years. This year's kind of like the worst he shot the mid-range in a while. But like before that, when he's shooting 55% on middies, we're not gonna be like, yeah, KD, get up 7 threes a game. Especially with like the difference between KD off the dribble threes and like catch and shoot threes is drastic, and it has been for a very long time. Generating catch and shoot threes is always valuable.
Oh, okay.
Off the dribble threes for KD, do you really want
he looks wonky when he shoots
it? Like, do you really want KD shooting 4 or 5 off the dribble threes a game? I don't know.
Like pull-ups, like off the dribble pull-ups.
Yeah, like this year he was at like 37% on pull-up threes. Like that's good, but when he can just get to the mid-range whenever he wants and not miss shots and not give up those transition opportunities, is that worth the trade-off? Now I can understand from the analytical perspective of points per possession. Yeah. But
I think in the playoffs,
other perspective,
where he's not getting to the rim, I think he needs to shoot more threes. To be honest,
I agree. But
I think the
KD doesn't
mid-range.
generate as many easy looks from three as other people. It's not like if KD's open, he more often than not shoots it.
Yeah.
But he's not gonna Kyrie you or Jason. He's not a Jason
pass it.
Tatum shot creator. He's not gonna do what Jason Tatum does. He's not gonna do that.
yeah, he's not a shot creator.
Am I the only one that hates that sidestep he does, Tatum?
Jason, yeah, when he sidesteps to his right.
I hate that bullshit, bro.
Hey man, when he was going in,
No, he's just I feel like he's
Bro,
probably
it's just him in that little shooting pocket, and you know that ball going wide left, and it's just no.
The reason I think players like the reason I think players like KD are needed is because when the game is on the line, even though mathematically threes are valuable like throughout the game,
down the stretch, it's all about field goal percentage. Always.
No, it's not about field goal percentage. For me, it's like when the game is on the line, you need a more reliable shot more than like a hit or miss shot. Exactly. So if you're hitting like 50+% shot, it like mentally you feel like it's going in. And with KD, even if it's 50%, we watching him. If you're watching him and you're supporting the other team, it feels like he's shooting 80 or 90%, and he is feeling it too. And when the game is on the line, you need that shot because mentally you're more prepared for that shot than a hit or miss shot like a 3-pointer. Like even if you need 3 points, the 2-pointer becomes like very valuable in the end game of these like close games, because like that's why most of the best clutch players were actually like mid-range assassins like Melo, Joe Johnson, Kobe, KD. These guys are very good with their like clutch numbers because like they had more game winners because they were shooting their automatic shot. It's not a hit or miss shot for them.
It's something that's always available. It's always available to you. Like the mid range, like the one spot on the floor, you can't take away. Like analytics and like the true shooting, it works in large volume. Like over the course of a season or over the course of a game, it's great. The moment you make the sample smaller, so we're in the last 5 minutes or we're in the last 3 minutes and it's a 1 or 2 point game, it's not about, can we generate this 38% 3-point look because it's worth 1.16 points per percent. Nah, you need to just make shots. Ideally, you just need to score the basketball.
It took me a minute to realize that.
Shots. We need layups. We need mid-range jumpers. We don't need threes. Field goal percentage becomes a lot more important when the sample of possessions is smaller. When there's only 5 possessions left in the game, you need to score on 4 of them. Even if you only score 8 points. We're not trusting 40% from 3. We aren't doing it. We're not living with that variance. We need to get every possession we need to score so we can set our defense and so that we can keep putting points on the board. The analytics, shooting, and the EFG is perfect over a long sample size of a game or a season where you need to generate consistent looks. That's why Denver is so hard to stop, especially down the stretch of game. They take the lowest amount of threes in the league, but they're gonna execute and they're gonna get good looks every down the floor down the stretch of games. That's why they're so hard to stop. That's why teams like Dallas, who even though I think they have a high ceiling, but with how much, and they got a great clutch offense because Luka and Kyrie can get to wherever they want. But over the course of a game, they generate so many open threes, the variance is all over the place. The Nuggets can win without making threes because their offense is not dependent on this analytical movement. They take probably more mid-range jumpers than most teams in the league. KCP,
you feel that way
Jamal
about,
Murray, Jokic, MPJ, they all be taking mid-range jumpers.
You know what? I didn't know they took that little of threes until I heard it. That's crazy.
I really haven't watched Denver this year, so I
think they're last, right?
I think they're last. Yeah, I think they're last, and the Lakers are like second last.
Yeah, we don't take threes.
You know what analytics miss out on though? The positions, the extra positions you get. Like you can talk mathematically if you have the same positions as the other team. Of course, true shooting is like the thing, but getting extra positions are actually easier based on like the difference between the top teams in the league and the worst teams in the league in every statistic. You'd find an easier way of getting extra positions over the other team than just being a better 3-point shooting team. Like, I mean, by mathematically speaking, the team, like if the team with the best like rebounding is facing the worst rebounding team in the league, that's a higher point difference than the best shooting team in the league against the worst shooting team in the league, because you see like 5 or 6% difference between the best 3-point shooting and the worst 3-point shooting. So that's like 2 points per game. But with offensive rebounds, for example, you can get like 5 or 6 points. So extra positions like avoiding turnovers, forcing offensive fouls, getting offensive rebounds, these 3 things mathematically affect the game even more than shot selection. But no one talks about it because we look at true shooting, we look at it's easier to count points per position than it is to count how many extra positions a team gets on average based on these things.
Rebounds.
Yeah, I believe I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure the Knicks were less efficient than the Sixers offensively.
They had the Sixers had more that were higher in 3-point percentage, field goal percentage, free throw percentage, and they still lost. It was nasty.
Bro, Harden's
and it's because of extra possessions. It's because at the end of the it's why the Bill Russell Celtics were very inefficient on a per possession basis. But when you're able to stop the other team and just run every time down the floor, you're gonna get enough possessions to outscore them anyway.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day,
if you
get
have
enough
a
possessions, you can be less efficient on a per possession basis if you just get enough possessions.
I mean, that's why OKC is so good. OKC forces the most turnovers in the league, and it's still like one of the most efficient offenses.
Yeah, there's basketball. That's why it's a great sport. There's many ways to win. Some you can win off efficiency, but then you can win off just out rebounding, out hustling teams, getting more opportunities to actually put the ball in the basket. You take more shots than another team, even if you're less efficient. We can win. Like when teams have like 20 turnovers and they give up 15 offensive rebounds, you can be as efficient as you want. If the other team's getting 25 more shots, what are you gonna do? Like there's only so much.
That's why I said the advantage.
There are 2 guaranteed ways you can't win though. There are like 2.
The Knicks had 23 more offensive rebounds than the Sixers that series.
Insane.
Some niggas got big. Niggas got bars.
Domo, go ahead. The 2 ways you can guarantee.
Oh, 2 ways you guarantee you can't win. Let your team be led off Russ or Dame. Come on.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew.
Come on. Guarantee you not winning like that. What?
But what about
Sorry,
extra possessions?
it was low hanging fruit.
Russ getting extra possessions, man. He rebounded.
It was right there. I had to. It was right there. I'm sorry.
DSG Piccolo. Oh, Desi, you want to say something?
I was just gonna say, or the best player on your team could be Jordan Poole. You know what I'm saying? That's also a guarantee.
They won 15 times.
15.
Yeah.
15.
It's called Kuzma. It's called
Kuzma too, you know.
DSG Piccolo said, "Is David Blatt being blackballed? I feel like he should have gotten another chance if he wanted one. I think he's just comfortable in Europe. I know, I think it's just
he's a goat in Europe.
I think he just prefers coaching in Europe. Like some people just don't want to be in the NBA. Maybe
that nigga got to the finals and got fired. He led a team to a championship and got fired right after. He don't want to come back.
I mean, he got fired. They were top of the East in 2016. When he got fired. Yeah,
there was no reason for him to be fired. And he was like, yeah. So he has a bad taste in the game.
LeBron James.
That was weird.
Yeah, I mean, that one. If you want to give any like knock to LeBron with coaches, I think David Blatt would be the one that makes
David Blatt and Frank Vogel. Those are the 2. I'm like, all right.
Could never be MJ.
Especially
but Reggie did update. He said LeBron has had 8 coaches, which equals a new coach every 3 seasons, which is still abdominal work. Okay, shout out to the ab workouts.
Abdominal. What the fuck? What does that mean?
LeBron sexuals in shambles.
Okay, please stop trying to do fake math, my G. Listen, you know LeBron didn't have a coach every 3 seasons. He had a coach for a long period of time in Cleveland, at least for a good portion. He had a coach for 4 years in when he was on Miami. And then after that, it was a coaching carousel. We just sat there and said we give him slack for David Blatt. He got Ty Lue. He didn't go back to the Cavs. Everyone knows Luke Walton was ass. LeVar Ball told everybody. Luke was just
Frank
ass.
Vogel?
Frank Vogel, you just heard me say Frank Vogel was another one where it's like, I'm knocking LeBron for getting him fired. That's
Mike Brown was there a long time. So we got Steven Silas's rookie year. And then apparently we included Brendan Malone's intern stint
for 18 games.
Yeah, we'll ignore that. And then it was Mike Brown all the way until he left Cleveland. So that's like 5 or 6 seasons with Mike Brown. Then it's Spo the whole time in Miami. We know that he wasn't a huge fan of Spo when he first got there, but Spo the whole time in Miami. Then it was David Blatt.
11 years.
Then it was David Blatt and Ty Lue in Cleveland. 2 coaches the whole time in Cleveland. He got Ty Lue in 16 and kept him until he left in 18. The reason he's had so many coaches is because the Lakers had Luke Walton when he first got there, then Frank Vogel, now Darvin Ham. Most of his coaches have come from the Lakers.
Was there no intern between Ty Lue and David Blatt?
No.
It was
Ty Lue was
David Blatt.
intern, right?
Ty Lue was David Blatt's assistant.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So he just came in and was like, "Yeah, I got this now. 3-1 comeback. Now the best coach ever." But
I blame Bron for that for the David Blatt one, but that Frank Vogel,
Paul Silas,
know
my bad. Yeah, I don't know why I said Steven Silas. My fault. Paul Silas.
No.
Tito Albandito, Domo. Who are the Lakers keeping? And if you could only add two of the three, a point of attack defender, a row center, or a serviceable point guard, which two would you pick? Which one would you not get? And then he said, "I appreciate you guys best on PC."
Why is there no shooter on that list?
Because we don't stop it. I'm not gonna lie to you. If LeBron leaves, a defender and a defender, a point attack defender, and a serviceable point guard. If LeBron stays, a real center and a point attack defender.
Okay,
Damo, I know that's not what you're saying, but bro, a nigga ain't leaving, bro.
Wait, but the Lakers fan think they can actually get Donovan Mitchell though?
I think
I'm ready to start the rebuild, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like,
the reason
I think this time LeBron has made y'all forget how bad real Laker fans are. My nigga, we can get anybody.
Oh
if
no,
I see. If they want to leave, you know where their home is.
We get Giannis,
you know what I seen on Twitter last night. Some Laker fan, I don't know his name, I can't remember. He said the Lakers should try and get Alperen Sengun for 2 picks and 2 swaps.
That sounds like a Lakers.
Some Lakers fans also think they can get Lauri Markkanen. Like, how?
4 picks, Rui and Vando, man. Come on.
Bring
Alfie getting a better deal.
Bring Alfie home. Come on.
I seen that and I just got mad. I'm like,
Morris, who says no, man? 2 picks, 4 first rounders, Vando, Rui, and we're throwing Max Christie and Jay Hood. Come on,
bro. We're willing to give you Derek Lively for that package. Come on,
bro. I see that. And he said it in so much confidence that, Sengun, 2 picks and 2 swaps. Yeah, I mean, we could take Sengun. He could become a serviceable backup big. Huh?
No, what Lakers fans should be trying to get is Jared Allen.
Crazy.
You should try and get Jared Allen, honestly, because I don't think they would give up on Mobley, but they have to see that the offense just won't work with both bigs on the floor at the same time, man. The Lakers have a pretty good package.
Let them lose this series first.
Yeah,
Damo, you ready? You ready for Bronny James to be a Laker, bro?
You mean
he's gonna be a Warrior?
Golden State Warrior? I'm about to say. You mean for him to be? You mean for him to be a Miami Heat?
The Lakers are going to draft
Dallas Mavericks.
That is right there.
If I have a pick that is not top 10 pick, I'm definitely picking Bronny so that I can fleece the Lakers for something way more valuable than him, or whatever LeBron wants.
Wait, we have a second rounder, right?
If LeBron leaves, it's the same too. You can fleece whatever team LeBron.
You're not going to get him. The Mavs are getting him. We're getting LeBron too.
Hey, if he falls to the second round pick, I'm taking him.
LeBron, Luka, and Kyrie. Come on,
if you guys heard how Bron been talking about that,
I have a very good question. This is a hypothetical. In this draft, knowing what we know about this draft, some people don't like it. Domo thinks it's a good draft, but most people mid.
Mm-hmm.
If like LeBron said a couple years ago, wherever Bronny gets drafted, he would go. Mm-hmm. What age would LeBron have to be for you to take Bronny number 1?
Whoa.
How old was he in 2020?
35. How old
34.
How old would LeBron have to be for you to take Bronny number 1 to get?
However old he was when he went back to Cleveland. So 30,
2014, he was 30.
He was like
Wait.
Mark.
Wait, so if LeBron is 34 years old, you're not taking Bronny number 1
right now?
So if 2018 LeBron was there, 34-year-old LeBron, you not taking Bronny
number 1. For which team though? For the team that's
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Whoever.
Yes, it does matter, bro. The Hornets aren't taking LeBron. Are not taking Bronny to get LeBron.
Okay. Hold on.
So much money.
I think you're missing the point of the question.
That would.
He's asking how old will LeBron have to be? Okay, hold on. He's asking how old will LeBron have to be for you to consider taking Bronny, knowing you're getting LeBron. That's why I said 30.
Oh,
LeBron
okay.
at 30.
25.
Especially with hindsight, I know I'm getting hell, even then you knew you was getting a good 5 years. LeBron did not like he was slowing down at all. I know I'm getting at least 5 years if I got LeBron James. And I'm not gonna lie, all the teams in contention for that number 1 pick, they already got a cool solid core. I'm saying 30. 30-year-old.
I'll just say 26. Right when he went to Miami.
If the Spurs get
I think the right question is what is the oldest
28, they're not taking him?
The oldest
Spurs
age.
definitely drafting.
No, the Spurs, yes.
No, Spurs is drafting. They're not even
taking
going
2020.
But the Hornets,
And they winning a chip next year.
I can see the Warriors.
Why would the Hornets? Okay, who keeps saying the fucking Hornets? Why would the Hornets not do that?
the Hornets are going to be garbage
I
regardless.
said the Hornets only one time.
Regardless, why we act like these aren't businesses?
Guard. Brandon Miller has extremely high potential. Even if LeBron trades
does.
young guys,
Shout out to
Brandon Miller could be a trade piece at least to get another great player on that Hornets team. Miles Bridges hits women. Mark Williams is a very good young,
What was that description?
Man, fuck all the assets. Nigga, they need to sell tickets. What are we talking about? For the economy of Charlotte, they would take fucking LeBron. What are we doing right now?
I guess.
Watch LeBron James.
Like Charlotte don't have pieces anyway. Like even if it was just 4 tickets, Charlotte have pieces. Like Charlotte could do
Robert Williams and shit.
Imagine if LeBron goes to the Spurs just to mess up like Wembanyama's career and
just to ruin Wembanyama's
just so you can't.
That's a real goal.
He gets traded to the Wizards.
Throw him a
He
lob.
gets traded to the Wizards and then he retires.
Nah. At this point in their career, I think Wemby would have LeBron traded before LeBron has Wemby traded.
What's the oldest age that OKC would have?
Oh, Mars, I got a question. How old would LeBron have to be compared to this Wemby right now, right? To get Wemby traded?
I was thinking about the exact same question. I'm glad you asked that.
26.
I genuinely believe, unless it's a LeBron that's at the age that you're basically an automatic contender, so 25 to 34.
I was gonna say,
any years outside of those years, I don't think it's possible.
You don't think it's possible?
I don't think it's. I don't think a 23-year-old LeBron is getting Wemby traded.
Yeah, not 23. No,
I don't think a 36-year-old LeBron.
It's all about the Asians, guys.
But that's like, so wait, how old?
So that's 2008. I don't think 2008 LeBron would be enough for the Spurs to be like, yeah, we'll give up Wemby.
I understand your point.
I don't think
that's super tough.
I don't think the Spurs.
08 LeBron.
We can't be like in hindsight. We can't be like in hindsight. Oh well, LeBron became maybe the best player ever at 23. Even though we saw the trajectory he was on, just came off the finals. I get it.
Yep.
I don't think that's enough for the Spurs to be like 20-year-old Wemby. We good. I don't think that's enough. 38 made work. They
38-7 coming from a 6'9", 270-pound behemoth. What?
They make it work. It's Kobe and Shaq. We know you don't like each other, but you play.
No. They are looking at like, okay, this is what New Orleans thought fucking Zion was gonna be. Let's get the Tom Frenchman out of here. Let's get him out of here. I don't know. Let's get him out of here.
The NBA doesn't work like that, though. The NBA doesn't work like that.
I'm with you, Mars. If forcing them to make it work is an option, they're forcing them to make it work. They like you. Y'all niggas are just like, hey, scrap that bitch out. Shoot the 30. Like I don't know what to tell you.
You guys don't have to like each other off the court. On the court, you're gonna be on this court together. I don't know what to tell you.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. If that is an option, I'll give you that. Hey, play together.
I'm not trading Wemby for anything. There's
all I gotta say is Asians run the league. That's all I gotta say. These trades I'm seeing, Asians run the league. It's not common sense.
Asians.
I thought you said Asians.
That's why I thought you said Asians. I'm like,
I was the only one.
Excuse me?
Okay. Let's get raised. We about to get canceled.
No. Oh my god.
What did Guatemala do? Did I miss something?
Real.
Shit.
I was so confused. Okay.
I was thinking like that's probably why Kyrie don't like Joe
like Rich Paul has more power than Rich Paul has more power than Logic. Let's face it.
Okay. I understand now. I was so confused.
He be getting
I was like, Simbula? Like, oh,
I'm just glad it was both of us that heard it. I'm not the only one that didn't hear it.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Someone said B-Sox runs the league.
B-Sox run the league is insane.
Has there ever been a player like that? Like one of these like a Wemby or LeBron, one of these guys like that up for trade?
Oh.
Like what would these guys go to? What would these guys
Yo, Damo's
like?
an idiot, bro. Damo's a fool, bro. I swear to God.
A player like Wemby or LeBron.
Yeah, like
I don't think
like
they've
for
ever been
example, let's say Wemby is up for trade tomorrow, or LeBron is like 22 and he's up for trade. Like, what do these type of guys even go for? Like
everything.
I don't think there's anything
entire roster,
like,
bro.
Unless Dallas gave up like Luka. I don't think it's
They'll take Kyrie. They'll take Kyrie. LeBron and peak Wemby and 20-year LeBron and any Wemby.
Jalen Brown, Derek White picks.
Hey, don't ask.
Okay.
I feel like give up your whole team.
Not to mention Wemby's in a rookie contract. So.
It has to be a better version of the. In my opinion, any player like that, it has to be a better version of what the Lakers gave up to get Anthony Davis. Something like that. Better. A better version of that.
I'm not taking a solid young core for a transcendent talent. I'm not.
I said a better version. So
I'm not taking a good young
solid. I'm not saying instead of a solid young core.
As a Houston fan, I don't think the Spurs would accept if we offered them 4 of our core young sticks for Wemby.
Wait, so if
if we offered them Sengun, Jalen Green, Amen Thompson, and Cam Whitmore,
yeah,
if
they
I'm the Spurs, I'd say no.
Now watch this. Now watch this. Now replace Cam Whitmore with Jabari and throw picks on it.
Oh,
the Brooklyn picks.
No,
I say no.
Jabari's worse than Cam Whitmore.
I'm not trading. The only thing I would consider trading Wemby for is
potential wise.
The only thing I consider trading Wemby for is
if OKC
is who Mars?
I'll give you
Jokic. Luke is the only thing I'd consider.
Oh, I thought you said.
And I'm still saying no.
I'm actually about to ask what. I was about to ask, would you take Luka and Kyrie together for Wemby?
No.
Kyrie's dead weight in that trade.
Jokic is 29. I'm good. Jokic is 29.
You wouldn't trade Jokic right now?
He's 29.
You know what he is.
If I'm the Spurs, what do I need 29-year-old Jokic for? To give them Wemby? No.
Bro.
Luka's 25. Luka we can build with for the next 10 years. Jokic is 29. No. I'm not trading 20-year-old Wemby for 29-year-old Jokic. No.
What about Chet, J-Dub?
No.
Casey Wallace picks?
That's a great.
Now what about Chet and Shea?
I know KC's picks.
Yeah, all of them.
All of them.
I ain't gonna lie. The Spurs
What about
Giddy? The Spurs might say yes to that, bro. The
Spurs. I'm not gonna lie. If the Thunder hit the Spurs, I was like, yo, we got Chet, Shea, and we got 2 of our 17 picks.
2?
No, not
Shout out to King of the Fourth Quarter.
You're getting Chet right now on contract. You're also getting Chet on top of that and 2 picks. The niggas are saying yes.
Just throw Damo, just throw a third one in there. Just throw a third one in there. At least.
I need like 8 picks.
Oh my god. Now everybody's Danny fucking Ainge. Everybody has to fleece.
Going back to Houston.
Shout out to King of the Fourth Quarter. Man. This is the kind of shit.
Sengun, and whichever of the other 3 young guys you like the most. Jabari, Tari, Cam. Any of them? I need every single Brooklyn pick to consider it. Every single one. I'm not doing it for 1 pick.
I feel like the picks are a thing when the talent is not there. I think when you're giving someone a young MVP candidate, also giving them we're going to consider him. He's going into this is his second year. What you call not even a future MVP candidate? Another young, good big. On top of that,
you good?
Oh no, I was banging on my desk and I heard something fall. I'm trying to make sure a screw didn't drop, and I don't need my desk to fall in on itself. I'm scared. I got scared. Anyway, that shit just scared the fuck out of me. Bro, I get it. You asked for 17 picks when niggas are trying to give you nothing but filler players, maybe a couple of young guys that didn't work out. But if a team is giving you their best 2 players, you're not getting 18 picks on top of that.
I'm not trading the potential GOAT for some all NBA players. I'm not doing it. Nope. I would be the GM who traded the GOAT for a nice 25-year-old. I'm not doing it. No,
a nice 25-year-old. Now we're downplaying.
The only people can trade
a top 5 player. We're downplaying Shea.
If I'm
trade Wemby to the Hornets for Michael Jordan and a time machine. Michael Jordan and a time machine.
I wouldn't trade Wemby for 86 Jordan.
I'm gonna say Mars. Mars, how old?
That's crazy.
I'm not trading Wemby for anything. If I'm the Spurs and I see what it can project to be, I'm not giving that up for anything.
So what age Jordan would have to be for you have to trade Wemby for him? What age Jordan?
I'm not trading him for any version of Jordan.
For any player.
Okay, I got you. I got one.
That you could
What age?
version?
I got you. Mars, I got you. What age does Wilt Chamberlain got to be for you to trade him for Wemby?
If the stories about Wilt are
everything is true. Everything you heard about him is true. The fourth quarter is real.
Oh, one trade right now. What are we talking about? one trade right now.
What about for Bill Russell? How about
running? Give me Wilt right now. If he jumping 50 inches in the air, give me Wilt.
Nigga, LeBron jumped the free throw. Oh man, that's crazy.
If you telling me every story about Wilt is true, I would trade anything.
So Lord accurate Wilt.
He running a 40-yard dash in 4.4 seconds. He jumping 50 inches in the air, dunking from the free throw line without running. Yeah.
So there is chat. We got him. There is. We got him.
Yeah.
We got him.
Yeah.
We got
Jesus
him
himself clearly. Mark Review on Black. What changes must be made this offseason for the Lakers?
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Get Bron out of here.
Get Bron, pack him up.
Get Bron out of here.
There you go. You heard it here first. Pack up, bro. But we are done. I hope you guys enjoyed Open Gym. The title, by the way, the title for the day was NBA Playoffs Round 2 predictions.
Don't care.
Not a single one.
First of all, I asked for it to be the end of round 1. So I asked it was meant to be for the Orlando Cavs series and the Dallas Clippers. That's what it was meant to be. I don't know why they made it round 2. That's why the thumbnail was Luka and Paolo.
That was a great
whoever made the title, because I said round 1, but that's besides the point. And we didn't even talk about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Shout out to Darvin Ham. And shout out to the conversation. I think we had a good conversation, man. But Wemby the GOAT. Wemby gonna be the GOAT. Merry Christmas, guys. I'll see you guys on Tuesday.